for me, it's always a privilege to do this. It's always a dream come true when I kind of reminisce on the kind of people I've had the opportunity to sit down with, people you have looked up to, people you have seen on screen, people you have been like, wow, and it just happens that you just get to meet them and converse with them. It's always a privilege. And today I'm having one of the biggest names too, and one of the most talented individual female you can encounter or meet. And today I have with me EBOH EBOH.
Yes,
EBOH EBOH. I did that well.
Yes.
Thank you so much for having this time out with me.
Thank you for having me.
One of the things I want to do this year is to document my story of how I get important people. A lot of people ask me questions like, wow, Timo, you are doing big things. How do you get to meet these people? And I think I want to share a bit of how I was able to engage her. So I was just able to send a mail to her, and one of the things I told her when she came into this room was, thank you for being kind to me. And I really meant that. I could feel the kindness. It was real. I read up on her story, and I was like, probably because you have enjoyed a lot of kindness in your life. And
oh wow, wow! Do I write about that a lot?
I was like, probably that was why I could give it. They say you can what you don't have, well, probably what you have no experience, you can't give it. So thank you so much for being able to share those things you have experienced so much.
Welcome.
The first question that was running through my mind is, what does it take to become you? What will you say that it took to become you? If someone else wants to become, or if you are trying to replicate a EBOH
EBOH. Okay, can make it easy. You can say EBOH potato, because that's like a name that people call me already.
All right, I think I prefer that. So
EBOH potato, so it's easier.
Okay, yeah, I will do that. Thank you for saving me. So if we are to replicate another EBOH potato, what do you think are the things that has to be in place for us to bring up someone like that? What does it take to be you?
So first of all, God does not create the same two times.
Okay.
I mean, I understand that there's nothing new under the sun, but everything that comes like with a revamp. So if there's anybody who comes again that looks like me or that has some features or characteristics of me, the person would most likely be better than me, because the person is most likely my child or my mentee. So I don't think I want somebody who would be like me again to come. I want somebody who's better. So me, Pro Max.
Okay.
Because when Jesus came and he was leaving, I don't know if you're a Christian. Yeah. When Jesus came and he was leaving, he said, greater things than these will you do. So yes. So first of all, before you even get to this point, you have to live 34 years on earth. You have to be born in Lagos. You have to be born into the family I was born into and go through the kind of life I went through. So I've gone through different phases in my life. From being born into comfort to experiencing a bit of glitch with difficulty, because my mom wasn't working at the time, and then business wasn't going well with my dad, and he had an accident. I was 10 at this time. Between like 9 and 12, there was like some kind of difficulty. So I saw small difficulty, even if we were already used to comfort. And then my parents knew how to just navigate it back to where it was. And I mean, I'm used to kindness and love. So,
obviously.
Yeah, I'm used to kindness and love. At the point I went the nice route, but nice, the etymology of nice is not a nice thing. So even nice is not nice, because it has a bit of, yeah. So the word nice itself doesn't have what we think niceness is. It's a bit of stupidity. So it's more of kindness. So I mean, the fruits of the spirit doesn't have anything called nice inside, but kindness, meekness. So I run with those things. I grew up in a Christian home. Not the home where they will flog you. Me, because throughout my lifetime, there's only one stroke of cane in my entire life. I remember very well, I was in JSS 3. And I went somewhere my dad told me not to go to, and he said, "Oh, you think that there's no cane in this house because we don't beat you? Bring your hand out." I now brought it out. As he just did one, it was like the tip touched this part of my hand, and my mother said, "You want to kill my daughter?" It wasn't that deep, but at the same time, I still felt like these people understood how to train me. Maybe as a last born, because I know that the two in the middle were flogged, I'm sure. I remember that they used to talk about being flogged, but not like how other people say that they flogged me, blah, blah, blah. The firstborn and myself, I don't think we experienced being flogged, but we experienced Proverbs. Me, I know that Proverbs has 31 chapters because that's how they trained me. So,
you have been mentioning God, Christian scripture, and let me just make a confession. When I was preparing for this session, one of the things I wanted to ask or confirm was the place of God in everything you have achieved. I was looking for the best way to ask the question because I didn't want you to be probably upset. I was looking for the best way to put the question to know your involvement with God. And I of course I read the story of how you were raised in, I think, Catholic family, if I'm correct.
No, we're Catholic, then Mountain of Fire.
Yeah, I think I saw MFM. Yeah,
yes.
Your mother was a friend with when you were about to go to school.
Yes,
I saw that. But even before prompting the question, you already...
Please, where did you see all these stories? Wow, I'm shocked. Is my life outside like that? And then how is it that some people don't know me?
If even before prompting the question of God, you already putting God in the conversation. This shows how big you are on God and how much you reference God. And one of the things I really wanted to know about you is about your talent. I'm so much interested in that. I have a lot of creatives around. I run platforms for creatives and with creatives. So when I get to engage creatives, I always want to squeeze them out and get all we can get so we can get better. So we have a lot of people that know they are talented, but they are not paying a lot of attention to it. They can sing, but all they are singing ends in the church choir. They don't dare to go beyond that bound. They can act. All their acting is just with their friends, do comedy, make their friends laugh, and they are not intentional about going pro and going in that, being like a city in the that is so visible to everyone. Why were you so intentional about your talent? How come you were so intentional that I know I can do this, I want to go all out? What were the things that had to be in place for you to be intentional about it?
Hey, those people, I don't think I'm different from them. Because I wanted to act I always wanted to act. I knew I wanted to act since I was 8 years old, and then it metamorphosed properly into what I do 20 years after. And this was when my parents died. Like, two of them, they just said, okay, bye-bye, we're not on this earth where you used to sit down with wicked people. So we've carried ourselves to heaven, So you, whatever you want to do here, that thing I say you want to do it. That was my dad, actually. 2 days before he died, I was going for a class with Post Studios. That's with Mr. Kenneth Uhoho and Mrs. Brenda Fashuba. We had a class at British Council on between the 28th and 30th of June 2018. So that day, as I was leaving my house to go and stay in Ikoyi for the classes, my dad is like, that thing I want to do, just go and do it. He wasn't even talking like a lot too, because my mom died in March. She died March 30, and then I was not in Nigeria for a month and a week. Then when I came back, I had just 5 days to be with my dad, take care of him. And I heard that he wasn't talking. He was like, Mom. And he eventually started talking, and then I was going for this class, and he's like, that thing you want to go and do it, God bless you. So I just felt like that was like a release for me to do what I feel like doing, because he sent me to school and study international relations in Covenant University. It's not cheap. And
it's not.
Yeah. And my mom always wanted me to speak different languages and be interpreting in different countries. I mean, I travel to countries now. However, it's not in the route or in the way in the manner she thought I was going to do it. And I'm even going to do greater. So with entertainment, with politics, with foreign policy, everything that has to do with what she thought I was going to do or hoped for, I believe I'm going to do better. And then the acting as well. So by that time, I finished this class. I'd already done King of Boys earlier in the year, and then it was released in October that year, King of Boys 1. So I had like 2 scenes. There was this way to his mom, Kemi, and your last best friend. So like I like to pin that as one of the major jobs. But before then, I'd had 1 scene in 2010 on Return of Jennifer 2, and I did High School Musical on stage. But that went far, but not far, because First Bank sponsored it. Celine Lauder was one of the people involved. Sheila Okonji, Stella Damasos, Kafi, Ima Ayalogo. There's this other guy, not JT Tom West, the other one. Tarila Thompson. Those are the people that were involved in training us to do the musical, High School Musical, in 2010. I was 21 at the time. This was 3 years after graduation, or 2 years after graduation. So I already started something, but my mom was like, yo, they're not paying for this thing. Go back to Abuja and go and wait until ECOWAS takes you, or Foreign Affairs takes you. Wow. Go and sit down in Abuja. So I went back to Abuja, and by 2011, I joined Koza, a church. And in Koza, we had somebody that I was just fond of from far, and I joined the workforce and joined the choir, where Brother Dunsin Oyeko was the music director. So I built a relationship of like baby sister, big brother with him. So it was beyond just choir. So I had some kind of good training in church with Brother Dunsin. I mean, I'll call him Brother Dunsin. I don't. You call him Dunsin, but I'm so used to calling him Brother Dunsin. So I had that relationship with him, and I sang in church. So we had different opportunities to sing with different people.
For you to be in Koza choir, that means you sing very well.
In that one that Brother Dunsin was in charge of. I don't know about any other thing. So that helped with my training. And then when I came to Lagos in 2014, I went to Royal Art Academy. And since then, I've been doing like short courses in acting and learning on the job.
Why did you come back to Lagos?
I came back from Abuja. I came back to Lagos because I wanted to go to acting school and just stylishly enter this acting thing.
So what prompted you to leave what your mother wanted you to do? What was the scenario? You just woke up?
No, I didn't leave it. I always wanted to act since I was 8. So I've been trying here and there. I modeled with Tylo Faces, Titi Lolagbenjo. She lives in Atlanta now. So she used to do makeup. Before then, I was 16 when NAC, Luto Tylo, NAC, there's a clothing brand called NAC, used me as a model for a long time because we're all in school together. So we went out to go and take pictures to model his clothes. The one time they used my hands because my hands are fine for an MTN advert. But I never got the money because the agents, they just cornered me. And I was in school. We were not using phones legally in Covenant, so I couldn't chase that. And I mean, I wasn't supposed to be doing that at that time. So there were things I was doing around entertainment since I was young. In my house, we had like a deck. We had microphones where we would sing, and I used to sing to the chairs. I used to sing to my dad. It was something like, it had always been in me. So the entire thing just came to life gradually as I entered my 20s, and then finally at 28, I'm like, yo, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to face. And then I moved on with that. While I was doing that, I also volunteered. So I've been a volunteer since I was 11. I volunteered with Baba for Women's Human Rights. I volunteered with Child to Child Network. So I've always been in the NGO space. And the NGO space is usually what?
There was a point you had your foundation too.
Oh yes, it still exists because we still have somebody in school. Right now I'm racking my brain on how she's going to go to university. Her name is Ayomiku Nudewenu. She's a blend of Badagry and Port Nouveau, that's Nigeria and Republic of Benin. So we have that person. Even if she's the only one we sent to school, it's still something because we're changing somebody's life. I mean, her children's lives will be touched. So from one person to another person. So Adansonia Foundation was created when I was 21 as well.
21.
Yeah, so there was no Instagram or any of these things to show those things you're doing. There was Facebook, but I wasn't really about that life. Not because now this is not humble brag. I just didn't think of it and the documentation of all these things. But I eventually became conscious of trying to at least document some things to ensure that people know what I am doing, you know. So for my career, it was at that point, June, that weekend of June 28th to 30th, that everything like changed, boom, immediately, because my dad died on the 30th of June. So I think they chose it. My mom died on Mother's Day month. My dad died on Father's Day month. So March and June, they're like, okay, let us share ourselves. Maybe they had like a plan to die on the 30th somehow, but my mother said, see me, I like Jesus too much. Good Friday is my own day. My dad said, let me stay so that Imo will see me around Father's Day, and then I'll now go. So it was, that was what just moved everything. I mean, I used to cry a lot before. You never heal totally, but I mean, you now get used to it, and it's part of your life when you lose very like close loved ones, because I was close to my parents. I'm not one of those children that don't really know their parents. I mean, it's not their fault, but me, I grew up with them. I grew up with them, so I was really into them. Even if I was not in Lagos for a long time, I was always in touch with them. During NYSC, I used to come back every month, because Dana was doing
every month.
Yes, Dana was doing 9,900 for their flights that time, because it just started in like 2008, 2009. So I used to use Dana to come back. Wow. But I mean, before the crash
happened.
Yeah, and then yes, so it's been like that. So since I was 8 years old, so I was little, I started it, and then I figured out that okay, I need to go to school to just get used to what this is. I didn't know what a monologue was till I was 24, 25, when I went to Royal Art Academy. With all the English and oversabi that I can be, I didn't know what a monologue was. I just okay, monologue, that's one dialogue. Dialogue is conversation with two people. That means only you talking to yourself. But I didn't know, it seemed more like a soliloquy to me than a monologue itself. So I now knew what a monologue was. I met other people who were active. But from 2014 to 2018, I couldn't do anything because I was shuttling the hospital. And then 2017, my mother joined my father to be doing hospital kini. That's how I started doing hospital runs. Then when they passed, I mean, the hospital runs reduced, burial, and then other things came to be. I joined the World Economic Forum Global Shippers Community when I was 26. Before then, I was volunteering from 2013 with the Abuja Hub. And then I joined the Lagos Hub in 2016. I became alumni last year when I was 33. I became alumni last 2 years rather. When I turned 33, I became alumni, and I'm an alumni of the World Economic Forum Global Shippers Community. And now with something that is happening in Morocco with the University Mohammed VI Polytechnic.
So it's like you are shoveling through a lot of things.
No, not at all. At all. So if you listen very well, you just know that she's with the international community with communities. So I'm part of communities, and then I do my work in entertainment as an actor. I produce as well, and you can call me a culture curator for film because I am the experience guide at Losing Daylight. It's an exhibition of Nigeria's film history since the 1800s till today. So I'm going to continue to know about the Nigerian film history from the 1800s till Jesus says, young girl, it's have due, you can now come to heaven. But yes, I'm going to be in that space, the entertainment space, the history space, and the international space, because he said city set on a hill. So me, I'm a city set on a hill that cannot be hidden. So the entire world, what's the highest mountain? They say Everest, but I think it's in the clouds, so you cannot see anything. The one that, you know what, I have hind feet that push me up to get to the top. So that's where I would shine the glory and the light of the person that sends me to this world. No, so I'm not religious like that. Me and God were just like chill, because I know that that's the person that created me. Exactly. That's my father. That's the person that ensures that I wake up, inhale and exhale oxygen and carbon dioxide. So
you reference him a lot.
Yeah, I reference him and I reverence him. So everything always goes back to the actual manual, the Bible. I don't know if this King James Bible has everything, but there are some things that your spirit would connect with that has to do with divinity and God and the supremacy of God that may not exactly be written in the Bible, but everything is connected. If you check the entire Bible, everything that happens today already happened. Like there's nothing that is new. Technology, there's nothing that is new.
I was going to ask you that how do you measure your success as an actress? Because when you look at a doctor, it's easy for a surgeon exactly to measure how he's impacting life. Oh, I did 7 surgeries. I was able to save 5. I'm a lecturer. I was able to raise successful students. So how do you think someone in the entertainment industry can measure impacts that he or she is having in that kind of industry?
Now it's not even left to you, but what might be left to us is that we have to do our work properly so that people can relate with us. I've been fortunate to be on 2 family shows, Rihanna and now Masquerades of Aniedo, that is showing on Africa Magic. Rihanna showed between 2020 and 2021, but is on Showmax right now. Rihanna, Masquerades of Aniedo is also there right now on Showmax, and we are on DSTV Africa Magic Showcase channel 151 every weeknight. So right now till I think March or first week in April 2024. Yes, I feel like we bring families together every night to sit down and watch. So it keeps families together. So my prayer is always that God, please let families come together. Let this be a bonding. Let this be a bonding time for families. Beyond watching us, let it be a bonding time for families, because I feel like we build communities through families. So you're an individual, you get married, you have your children. That's a family. They go to school, they create a larger like it expands. So there's the extended family that expands, then there is the other family, community family, that expands through school, church, associations, whatever it is that you people do, like Rotary Club, Ikoyi Club, Lagos Country Club, all those things. We grow like that. And when everybody does everything that they need to do during the day, by 8 p.m. you come and sit down, everybody together. You watch Masquerades of Aniedo. After Masquerades of Aniedo, you can watch the news at 9, whatever news it is that they are telling at 9, and then 10 o'clock everybody goes to sleep. You know, so I mean, they have dinner at 7 or 7:30, they watch our show and they move on. That's one thing. I feel like we are impacting the lives of families and bringing families together as actors, and then we're entertaining them, because sometimes you just need some extra entertainment, and then we reflect reality through what we do. They just see a replica of reality through the work that we do. So they're like, there's Urena. When a girl who's struggling, she sees my character Urena, and she says, oh, me too, I'm going to push and do better. Like this girl, she doesn't, I know they don't have a lot, but she's trying to go to university. She's trying to do her POS work and go. Do you understand? So there's a way people connect with actors. Growing up, I liked to slick my hair back and wear Alice bands because of Ego Boyo. And I feel like there's a pattern that I follow low-key that might be connected with Ego Boyo. I'm not about I like fame, but I'm not about the do or die, like fame's there. I just want work to be done in a very calm, sweet way that is elite and bougie, which I see in Ego Boyo. So that's low-key unconsciously, that's the person I've been looking at since Ego Boyo, Liz Benson. Yes, and now Nsek Benson.
Beyonce said something when I was preparing for this was one of the things that crossed my mind. He said, who knows the word girls? And one of the things that have crossed my mind, I love the female gender a lot. I appreciate that they are part of the SDG, and I wanted to ask that when we look through some of the top positions around Nigeria, top and peak positions around Nigeria, you find few ladies or few women there. In fact, even in the entertainment space, if you check the Apple top 100 now, top 100, probably you find 5 ladies, if I'm not even exaggerating, probably 2. And I'm like, where are the ladies? Why are they not so much of ladies in the House of Assembly? Why do you think that is happening in a society like Africa or like Nigeria?
The way we came to meet this world, men already took charge. I mean, when they even wrote, because they sung some Bibles and they burned some Bibles, so we don't even know who they created first. Yes, I said that. We don't even know who they created first, who God created first. But let's just go with God created Adam first. So that's already an advantage for men. And they'll take advantage of it. And because physically you guys are strong, there's a way psychology just works, and the way we've come to meet this world, that men do a lot of things and we see more of what they do. However, the women do the work in the background. The ones who want to show it, show it. There are very few women who project and come out and show, okay, we are here.
Why is this so?
So because the society and everything has made it look like, women should be seen and not heard. So if you are seen and not, you're not talking, nobody's going to see you. And there are other factors. I'm seeing my period. What about why do you want me to come and be stressing myself outside with you? I'm on my period. For 9 months, I'm carrying a baby. My hormones are jumping everywhere. So I need to bring somebody to this world. I'm doing a lot of work. Bringing 1 person or 2 people to the world.
So do you suggest that we shouldn't bother desiring to see a lot of women at the top position?
Women are at the top. We're not just seeing them. So some of these men who are doing well, I don't think there's any man who's doing so well without a proper woman who's telling him, I think you should do this, I think you should do that. Without a woman influencing.
Do you mean a woman like in a position probably of a P, or a woman as a wife? Or
his wife most times. Which P? His wife most times, because you don't go back when you go to some people's houses. I don't know. I mean, they've painted marriages to seem like they're terrible. It's a lie. Marriage is not a terrible thing. When you go to some people's houses, you see that the wife that is telling him, I think you should do it like this. They have conversations. That's where they go back to do their amebo. Whenever we go out and come back, you come back to do your amebo with your wife or your brother or your sister or your mother. Check. Some boys, they call their moms. Women always influence things. Women influence things every time. See Herod and the girl who his daughter who danced for him, and the queen who told her, tell him to behead John the Baptist. John the Baptist was beheaded because a woman told a young girl to tell a man that he should be beheaded. That's one. Abraham and Sarah, they couldn't have children for a long. Let's go to Abraham and Sarah. They didn't have any child for a long time. 75, 65. We have not born yet. Okay, that's how God now said that. Let me tell them that they should look up and count the stars. That's how that one was counting stars. God said, don't worry, you are going to be father of many nations. Like, you are who? Then that's how Sarah now said, let us Kukuma help God do. See the man that was supposed to be the head. Sarah used to call him my Lord, but guess what? She used to influence what he would do. So she's like, see, this is our house girl. Higa, just give her one now. Let's see whether the problem is from me or from you. Let's see how it goes. That's how that one went to go and lash house girl. She now got pregnant and gave birth to Ishmael. The same woman that said go and impregnate this person was the same person that influenced him chasing the wife, the house girl and the child away. Thank God, God went and took care of the child. I mean, we're experiencing shaggy now because we have like the person that's doing, I'm the firstborn. No, Isaac is the secondborn. Ismail and Isaac. Ishmael and Isaac. Like, we have that low-key problem in the world now because from history. Well, let me just leave that. That's not an emotional conversation. That's a private conversation. But I mean, they set up that wahala for us because one person wasn't patient, but the woman pushed for him to do that. Now, let's go to the first set of people, Adam and Eve. So, devil sat down. He said, this new person that God brought, she looks very influential. If I touch her mind, I'll be able to get to Adam and they'll be able to disobey God. Who did God give the rule?
The man.
Who came and scattered everything?
The woman.
No, the man. Because he did not listen. He listened to the woman because she's influential. So this goes
he listened to the woman because he loved the woman.
Is it love?
It's love.
Let's call it love, whatever you want to call it.
It was written.
But I'm just giving you like 3 instances where women influence things in history. Now, when I say history, the Bible. So there are a lot of things like Gambo Sawaba from Ghana came to Nigeria, lived in the north and influenced a lot of things. Fumilayo Ransom Kuti influenced a lot of things. And when people say that women outside Nigeria, women in the Western world, guess what? They came to Africa to learn that women could speak. They came to Africa to learn that women could have a voice. Cleopatra, like they came to Africa to learn that women could have a voice actually. So if you're seeing anything in Africa, we're not learning it from the West. We taught them, we own it. We're the ones that have it. Women have always had influence. It's just the way the world is. And then there are many men. They always say that women are more than men. I don't think so. I don't have any proof because I don't have any statistics or census to prove that. But men are in good number of them. Yeah. So they influence what they influence. They are boisterous. They are more out there. They are physically stronger than we are. So that's why you see more men than women. It's not like women are not. Women are there. They're influencing a lot of things. They're doing a lot of things. They're the brains behind.
Influencing part and that you're trying to make analogy of, and it makes a lot of sense to me. I wanted to ask, as a woman walking through your career, did you face any kind of issue because of your gender, probably when you were going into the entertainment industry? We've seen BBC bring up sex for grade. We've seen a lot of issue women facing the corporate world. Did you encounter any kind of anything close to that?
Not exactly, not directly, and not successfully from the end of any abuser or anybody who wants to take advantage of anybody. Because if anybody tells you that they want to sleep with you and give you work, that's a lie. Nobody's going to give you work like that. You may get to a level with that, but it doesn't help you. And then it's not just women that are, well, more women are abused. Let me not go that route of it's not just women that are affected. But no, I've not exactly experienced any difficulty because I am a woman per se. It's first of all, I want to do work, but I don't do it as a do or die affair for me to be famous whatsoever. It's always been, this is the work we're supposed to do. This is work I want to do. I want to act. I want to entertain. I want to sing. I want to dance. I want to be in musicals. I've been very fortunate to work with mostly women. From going to MME Song School to being in a class run by Brenda Fashuba, then taught by Kenneth Ohoho. That's a man, but the person who ran the entire thing was a woman. To being on Speaking Out and Out of the Country by Miriam Ogazici, a woman. To being on King of Boys by Kemi Adetiba. To being on High School Musical on stage by Sheila Okonji. To being on one scene, Return of Jennifer Cornerstone. Return of Jennifer and Cornerstone by Funke Akindele. So I've really experienced just women. To meeting my direct mentor, Nsekpe team. I've not exactly needed to work with mostly men
that we want to take advantage of.
Yes, and then the men I've worked with, James Omokwe, that's like my brother. So what? Mr. Femi Ogunso, that's like my uncle. I'm trying to think of men. Tunwa Aderinoko of Trino Motion Pictures. That's like my big brother. So it's, I'm not exactly
Macaroni, Mr. Macaroni.
No, wait, we're getting there now. No, so those are people in the film. Now, Macaroni is like my spirit brother that just said, this girl, there's something inside you. In fact, just come. We're going to just be working together, and it's growing. And he's not a Macaroni, of course. Let me not say of course, but of course. he's not a womanizer. He's not looking at women in that kind of manner. Like, he's nothing close to that freaky that you see. Nothing, like, there's nothing in his entire being that is close to that you are freaky. He's like an angel that's just entertaining people with what he has seen old Yoruba men do, and he's just okay, let me just replicate what they're doing and entertain people. So yeah, he's been good. He's been good to me. That, like, I've not experienced any, even to Eden Victor, because Eden Victor was the one who suggested me to Macaroni. So I'd worked with Eden Victor once, and I think I was playing around with my EBO accent, and then when they wanted to do something, you just like, see, I think I know somebody who can do this. And when I went there, it just flowed. Like, I was doing my thing, like just doing my natural being an EBO girl, and then they're like, yes, this is our Imabong, we move. And wow. Yeah, it's not been as easy as I'm making it seem, but I always like to embrace the sweetest parts of my stories. I love to embrace the sweetest parts of my stories.
That's like act of gratitude.
Yes.
I think gratitude is just you seeing the good part.
Yeah, the sweetest parts, because see, no matter how you worry, what's that? Overthinking, no fee solve problem. That person was not joking. Like, I think the person sat down, thought about it, and said, if you overthink, it's not going to sort anything out. If you had overthought the thing, you just, okay, let me send this girl an email. What's there? My own is for me to respond. Yes, I can do it. No, I cannot do it. And you move on with life to the next person. You cannot kill yourself over anything. So you embrace the good, the sweet things in life. So I always like to embrace the sweet things in life. So when you ever see anything about me, sweet potato all the way. So it's sweet potato all the way. Sweet things, like, no matter what happens.
There's a question that is running to my mind. I've been praying I don't forget. I didn't want to cut you when you were mentioning all of that. There are a lot of people that are like you, actually, as talented as you are, as hardworking. I think I should mention that you said you were doing a lot of school things when you are, even while you're in school. You were going extra mile to ensure that at least you're able to express the talent in you. I see that as hardworking. You were so intentional about bringing out yourself, and I feel a lot of people are kind of doing that, but they are not getting results. Like they say, when we are in school, when you fail an exam and you want to I've forgotten how they call it, rectify it, you say there's an option of results not commensurate to effort. So wow. There are some people like that they feel like the result they are getting out of what they are doing is not commensurate to the effort they are giving it, probably because it's also a competitive world where it's so competitive. So what do you think you did different, or what do you think or what do you think happened that you're able to get results for your efforts?
Who told you that my effort is commensurate with what I'm getting? It's not, though. That I'm being grateful does not mean that I'm where I want to be, because I have my classmates are earning up to 6 million a month, and Nollywood doesn't pay as much as that. So there is that factor, because there's some things I want to drive a G-Wagon. It's not because my eye is too big. It's because ideally I should be able to afford it, but it's not just there right now. But what can I do? I'll thank God for being able to afford to be in an Uber to go around. I don't have to trek or anything. So I'm always just grateful for those things. And to maintain the beauty that God has put in me, I make sure that I'm comfortable and I don't let the sun smite me by day, the moon by night. Like God has already said it. So I'm not going to put myself in a position to stress myself at all. For those people who have not gotten to where they need to get to, I pray that God grants them the grace to get to where they need to get to, and God grants me the grace to get to where I'm meant to get to. And my path is like a shining light, and it will shine brighter until Jesus comes. I don't think everybody.
You know a lot of scriptures.
I don't think everybody. I don't think
you hear what I say?
Yes.
I know a lot of scriptures.
I don't think that everybody is where they want to be. I mean, there's some things that are satisfactory and you'll be grateful for. The people who are working, somebody explained to me that it would be compounded success. So everything has been happening since. So tomorrow, not everybody knows me. I have very few followers on Instagram. Not everybody knows me. So people see me and they I know your face. Oh, where are you from? Do we go to the same school? I know it's on TV, they saw me, but I'll just be looking until they get to the point of, are you an actress? And I say yes. We what they call it, we're working hard. God would continue to show us forth or show us to people. I don't think that doing what I was thinking that where I'll get to, because the way I used to, but the process I followed, thank God, it works. I'm not in every movie. Last year I only shot 3 major things, in particular 3 things. I did Cheats earlier in the year. I did my short film. No, I did Cheats like last 2 years, end of the year or early last year, and then I did not work as an actor for like 5 to 6 months. Then in July was the next time I acted. And that one has not even come out. Then I was now on Masquerades of Aniedo. So people who see me think that I'm working every second. I'm working in different things. Like I do red carpet, blue carpet. I moderate some things where I get paid. But for acting, it's not like the jobs are just coming. And it's not every job you accept, because your time, it doesn't just work with your time. Let's leave it like that. Let's not say the other things. Time and maybe the money too. Like sometimes this is not commensurate with the stress I'm going to go through. So it's not everything.
So you don't mind the character. It doesn't have anything to do with if you accept a gig or not. Just the time and
so because sometimes the characters really tell if I can do it. Like for the Wildflower, I had a character. The character I played, Yinka, a pastor's wife. She had only 4 scenes there. Normally people say, you've gotten to these points where you shouldn't be acting small roles or short, like just for 4 scenes. I'm like, this character, she's the pivotal person to this story that exposes this bad man. I want to play that character. No matter how small it is, no matter how small the money is, I like what she's doing. I'm going to do this. And guess what? That small character is the one that when some people see me, they recognize me. Yeah, Yinka, you're that lady. Oh, thank you very much for exposing him. So yes, God will continue to guide my path, and I pray that God will guide the path of those people that you're thinking about. If you have anybody in mind who's working so hard, everything that they're doing will come to fruition. Brother Shaggy worked. That guy can sing, he can dance, he can act, he can sculpt, he can paint, he can do a lot of things, but we only see him as Brother Shaggy. He's worked his ass off. Mr. Macaroni too has worked. He did not just wake up to start doing skits. He has a 2-1 or a first class, I think 2-1 in theater. So he went to school to study it, and that's not the only degree he has. So like, people have worked, and when you see the outcome of whatever it is they're doing, go back and check how they started. So it's not just, people don't just jump up and spring up like that. I'm 34. So people don't just spring up from nowhere. So yes.
You mentioning something around one of your school classmates earning 6 million, and one of the things that has crossed my mind to ask you was, how did you make your first million?
Which first million? There's no first million. You just see that there's up to 1 million in your account or 1 point something million in your account. But you still use it to pay for bills. You pay rent. You pay house rent. You pay for things. Like, I don't have a car, so I always have to use Uber. So sometimes when you go and check, when I'm traveling and I have to print out my bank statement, I'll see millions. I say, is this me? Millions. You now check. Uber, Bolt, Lagos ride, Uber, Bolt, Lagos ride, Uber, Bolt, Lagos ride. I'm like, what? But the thing doesn't come in bulk like that for you to go and buy the kind of car you want to drive around. I mean, I don't even think I want to be driving around. I want to have the car and have my driver take me around. So Yes, that's what it is. It's not, I'm not yet. We're getting to that point where this is the year of the millions in Nollywood, so it's a good thing you asked me that. So when I'm charging straight to my, because the Nigerian economy itself will not, there are plenty zeros, because when you check it in dollars, it's 1,000 that gives you
million,
like 1 million. So how much is 1,000?
I think it's a million plus.
Actually, let's just call it 1 million.
If you have to reach out to young ones out there that's aiming to become something in life, and you just want to give them like a cheat on how they can, should I say, speed up their process or become something great in life, and you have like just probably 2 minutes to speak to them, what will your speech look like?
Jesus said you should do greater things than him. Girl, boy, whoever you are, just follow the pattern that God wants you to follow. Make sure that you're doing the things that your spirit agrees with God on to do. Don't go out shooting people. Don't go out rushing to make so much money. Whatever you have per time, be very satisfied with it and push with that. Always want more, but not at the detriment of others. Show love in everything you do. Be kind. Be warm. Always spread your arms to hug people. At the same time, be careful, because the heart of man is desperately wicked. Who knows it? So you don't know it. Be careful of people, and make sure that you're not somebody that people have to be careful of. And work hard. Work hard. Live, love, stay kind.
So sweet. I really want to appreciate you for this time, for leaving your house to come over here and to have this time with me. I hope you really enjoyed yourself. I enjoyed the conversation. One of the things I do personally is that before I give things out, I always ensure that I'm not just like I think they say the conductor. I ensure that I am blessed as much as I always vote on that to bless. One of the things I've said about my platform is my platform will not be just a zone where people come and listen to gist and they're happy and they go. I always want it to be a platform that people come and hear words that can transform their life. When people come to my DM, they don't tell me they are entertained. They will say, wow, they were able to do this because they heard this from this person. They were able, and I'm like, yeah, that's the goal. I think I'm running with the goal, and I'm always blessed when I reach out to people, and when they come, I'm like, I think this is a divine call for me, because the people I bring on, and people have never broken the record, even you, they speak in light of what I have as a vision for the podcast, and I really thank God for giving me this honor to have you on this platform and have this transformative conversation with you. Thank you.